Today's going to be a very interesting episode, and I'm going to tell everyone why. My good friend here, Mary, as she started driving to my house, I started to feel her. And wow, the headaches, some nausea, some anger is coming through me. I said, Mary, how are you feeling? And
I'm in a funk. And so, I got my hair done the other day. I thought that'll make me feel better. I went for a massage. I thought that'll make me feel better. I even put on a pink shirt this morning because I thought if I wear pink, that'll help me feel lighter. But nothing's working. So I knew on my way over here, I didn't even want to come. I was like, I don't want to go. Why do I have to go? It's such a long drive. I was just being so, not myself, very irritable, and I just want to be angry. Somebody come through the door because I want to yell at somebody.
okay, so
And that's not me.
I know, but this is a real life example of what people go through as we're healing. There is an anger phase. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. It's nothing to try to suppress. So the fact that you can vocalize it and you're in it and you're doing things to try to fix it and get better. I'm going to try this, I'm going to try this, but it's not quite working.
Yeah, it's not working. Not even the glass of wine.
So what's happening is there is a layer, something you're tapping into that needs to come up for healing. Now, I'm not going to say it's just one thing, because many clients I work with, and this has to do with what I've gone through as well, a lot of people who are intuitive, empaths, light workers, old souls, we're taught to be a certain way when we're children. Please everyone. Be the best version of yourself, making sure your parents are okay, your siblings are okay, your friends are okay. And we love doing it. But it comes to a point where when we start to heal, there's a part of us that says, what about me? And what did I miss out on? And there's resentment and anger. And also, on top of that, Mary, when we get hurt in life, because we're the strong ones, we don't allow that hurt to flow through. Oh, this person hurt me. Okay, I'm going to pack it in here. So our emotional field is filled with disappointment, frustration, hurt feelings, a lot of that negative stuff that doesn't feel good. And for it to heal, it actually has to come out. So sometimes we get into this funk. I've been there. So I know what she's going through. I'm going to say I'm blessed to be beyond it. But I know the feeling and I feel for you. So I was giving you ideas on how to release it. And one of the ideas, and these are things I used to really do.
Yeah, but there are also things that we were taught as little girls that not to do. We were sometimes taught to hold in our feelings, to be brave, stiff upper lip, and, or maybe you deserved it because you didn't behave in a certain way. And so you stuff all that stuff down, and so all of your ideas, the thought of doing them makes me feel really silly and awkward because it's just something that we were never taught to do.
That's true. That's part of our programming.
Yeah.
Right? It's very interesting. You can tell your parents, oh, this happened to me, but oh, well, it was your fault. And then you're too embarrassed to tell anyone when something bad happened because, oh, maybe it's my fault. So then I won't tell anyone that happened. I'll just pack it in here, and it's another trauma that we have to release. So you have to let go of what the norm says. You have to let go of the programming that said you need to suck it up. Pull up your big girl pants, right?
Yeah.
So there are things you can do. First off, having the emotions is A-okay, whether you're male or female, whether you're 3 years old, 15 years old, 30 years old, 70 years old. It doesn't matter what age we are. We all have feelings. It's our emotional field that needs to heal in this time. And this is the most uncomfortable thing to heal, the emotional field.
Yeah, well, I feel like people are walking around like feeling the same way I am. Like people have good days, bad days, and they just figure, they'll have a glass of wine or they're going to go for a massage or get their hair done and everything will be all better. And so I feel like that doesn't work. That's just putting more band-aids on stuff.
That's right. And it's actually just avoidance.
Yeah.
I mean, mind you, some massage therapists actually can release energy. They're pretty good. But a lot of people go on vacations or go to a bar or party with their friends. Avoidance, avoidance, avoidance. In this new energy, we have to look within and say, why am I feeling this way? What is it in me? And you might not remember all those hurts, but you can feel it. It's there.
Yeah.
So there's this, this kind of this scale of healing. I mentioned to you this before, and I think I've said this in other things. Depression, embarrassment, and shame are very low vibrating. It's like 30 cycles per second. It's very low. It's close to death. But as someone starts to heal, the next kind of level up is anger. Anger is actually better than depression. But nobody likes an angry person, right? Does your family enjoy your frustration and anger right now?
No. Actually, they're very helpful to help me name it because they'll say to me, like, what's going on with you the last few days? And then it helps me to be aware that something's up.
Yeah, and there's triggers. And sometimes when people just ask you, your eyes might start to water. If you start to have tears when people ask you, like, how you doing? The tears are actually a chemical reaction breaking negative resistance or negative beliefs. So allow the tears to flow. There's nothing wrong with that. But also you want an outlet for the anger. You don't want to suppress it. If it's there for healing. So what I used to do, I had a lot of anger, but I didn't really take it out on people, but I could feel it. It was brewing and it was mad. I would go to the basement when my kids were sleeping and I would beat up pillows because that anger needs to come out in a safe way, not to hurt myself or others.
Yeah.
And you don't want to yell at anyone near you because they're not always the issue of your anger. The anger could be from your childhood, but now this person in your life that you love triggered you. And all that extra energy wants to come out. And sometimes the ones we love are the ones that get the brunt of our healing anger. But you're an aware person. So you're not going out yelling and screaming.
No, but I'm definitely chippy.
All right.
People are being careful around me these days. I can see it.
Yeah. So we want to release that anger. So there's that way. And I'm going to just be really raw here. A lot of people would never believe that I had this much anger. But it would come to the point where I actually bit the pillow and ripped it. I'm like, that's like a savage girl inside me. Who is that? I never showed that outside, but there was so much hurt and abuse and trauma and sadness, and it was all bottled up that I remember ripping one pillow and all the feathers everywhere. Then I was beating up the feathers. But it felt so good. Now, you don't want to stay in anger forever, but it needs to release. Another way I released anger was, let's say somebody hurt me in my past. I don't want to go to that person and say, hey, you did this, because they may not remember, right? There's a lot of reasons why they may not remember.
Yeah.
So what I would do is I would sit quietly, reflect on whatever I felt, and I would write a letter. Now, there's two ways to do this. You write a letter. Dear whoever. Blah, 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 blah. The other option is you type an email, but you don't want to send it to the person. So you want to make sure you're the recipient of the email. Dear whoever. Blah, 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 blah. And you send it, and it sends back to yourself. And that thing that you released it. Now you can go one step further, which I love to do. I used to do this when I lived in Oakville. The funny thing is, I would burn the letters at a full moon. The thing is, the paper I used didn't really burn well. So I'm in my backyard trying to light this thing and light it. It's not really working. But when you burn it, it gives you another sense of release.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to find out what can work for releasing this anger. What's your outlet? Some people, I mean, I live on a farm now. I can go out and scream. I couldn't do that in the city. People think
I
you're
saw
nuts.
that on Netflix the other day. This girl, she went out into the forest and just screamed.
Yeah, and then apologize after. Sorry, trees. But thank you for allowing me to do that. Right?
Yeah.
They'll help you release that negative energy. Running around. Some people can be really physical. Have you ever seen people like working out like mad people and like on the stepper?
Yeah.
It's like, or the treadmill.
Yeah.
Like, I know they're releasing a lot of anger.
Yeah.
You know, it's coming out that way. Or bodybuilders, they're releasing. So there's way to release physically. There's a way, like, and sometimes in privacy and sometimes out there. What I'm going to do right now is while we're talking, I'm going to release this energy. She can't write a letter right now. You can't go beat up a pillow. We have recordings to do. Right?
That might be fun for you guys to watch, but I'm not doing it.
Yeah, it's kind of a private thing you want to do, right? I think we're being raw and vulnerable right now, telling people how we felt or how we're feeling and what helps to release that.
Yeah.
Another thing,
well, that's because we believe if we share our stories, that there's people out there that might be listening who can resonate with that and who can hear their own story in our stories. We think there's so many people out there who are suffering alone, and part of our goal is that people reach out to us and know that they're not alone and have somebody to talk to.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and a lot of people are feeling, and I know you're getting a lot of people telling you this too, is that I have a new appreciation for mental illness because I think I have a mental illness. I have so much anger, so much frustration, anxiety that's coming out of nowhere. It's our emotional field that's healing. So right now, we're just going to keep talking. I'm doing an energy session on Mary, who has graciously allowed me to do this because I'm feeling her. So I feel like pressure in my hand. I'm not feeling so good as I'm picking up what she's feeling. So if I can turn this around for her, it also helps me. Right? So we're going to get this moving. And just let me know how you're feeling during this. And if you have anything that comes up, feel free.
So this is a different way that you can release feelings that are stuck. Is that right?
Yeah. Actually, it's funny because I do a lot of hands-on healing. But I do a lot of, coaching sessions where people talk about what's bothering them. And I use the pendulum to help release the energy and bring in the light. So it's a different way. Some people prefer that because some people really like to talk about the frustrations they're going to, what happened to them, their stories. It's a really good way to let go of the victim mentality.
Yeah.
You don't have a victim mentality. You own it. So. No, you don't.
I over-own it, actually.
Yes, probably.
Like, I own my issues, but I also, somehow take on other people's issues and make them my own.
Yeah, and that can be adding to the way you're feeling, right? So we don't want to take on anyone else's. No. Because we're so close, I can easily pick up what you're feeling, which makes me feel off too, right? But we're here to film today, and we're going to do a great job. So we thought, why not share? Because this is a real moment.
Yeah.
Sometimes I go through them as well. I don't stay down too often because I know how to get myself out. But, I already feel it releasing because I'm starting to feel better. We're just letting that go. There was something I wanted to say. Oh, all right. I was reading a book. The other day I had to get my car maintenance. Somebody, I'm going to say Mr. Lube scared me. They said something bad about my car. And I'm like, what? What does that mean? And they're like, well, it's in your file. I go, well, can you read what's in my file? No, I'm just telling you. So anyway, I like Mr. Lube, but the guy put a little bit of fear in me. So I go to my mechanic I trust. I said, this is what they said. I think my car's going to seize. That's what they said. And I ended up being there for 2 hours. And it wasn't that bad. It was fine. But it was good to get it done. So I got that done. But while I was there, I was reading a book. I tried to read this book actually over a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was too complicated.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I started, it just was flowing like butter. It was beautiful. But it came to a section which I really resonated with, where it said that a lot of humans that are going through this awakening stage believe that we are going to be saved by aliens or some magic pill or some magic method that is going to release all our traumas.
Mm-hmm.
It is not going to happen that way, which I already know, but it was very beautifully written how everyone has an emotional field.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has a history. Everyone has themes they came in with. We need to heal ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We can do it with help. We can do it by using different methods, but that deep healing, that emotional field that's coming up to the surface needs to heal. So we all have to look within to that dark shadow side of us, to the hurts, the negative beliefs, the traumas, the things we've seen, we've heard, we've experienced. There's no around it. There's no magic wand. I wish I had the magic wand say, Mary, I love you so much. From now on, you're never going to feel sadness again. You're never going to feel this way. But it would be a lie, and it's not the truth.
But kind of what you do, Brenda, is like a magic wand for those of us that are learning about what you do and have never really understood kind of what you do. It is kind of a magical thing because you're working in a quantum field of energy, which is so foreign to so many of us.
Well, yes. The thing is, my magic wand, this beautiful gift I have, is releasing a layer from you. One layer. So we heal layer by layer. So what's happening right now is your higher self has brought in all this stuff for you to release. And sometimes we can release it by beating up a pillow safely, going out for a walk, yelling and screaming, laying out there, acknowledging it, saying, I'm mad. But sometimes a little bit of extra help is needed. And that's where I can come in and help you out.
Yeah.
But what I do my best to do is teach people how to let yourself heal, how to tap into that energy, say, wait a second, I'm not going to run from it.
Yeah.
I'm going to be very powerful. I'm going to look at it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to deal with it.
Well, that's what I find these days. There's a lot of running from feelings and a lot of running from hurts, and I think that's why we've got so much depression, anxiety, addiction, is because people are looking for quick fixes and ways to feel better.
Yeah.
And
even plant medicine. There's another one that comes in. There's a lot of people, I know some clients that are using, I don't want to judge, and maybe I am judging by saying it, but using, say, plant medicine or other drugs that are apparently allowed to be used, but they may not be healing with it. They may be avoiding, and they might feel better. But a plant medicine, let's say, I'll just use something like mushrooms. Mushrooms will teach you how good you can feel, but it's a teacher. Do the work, get that higher vibration, let go of the layers, and you can feel like that naturally on your own. So it's all about learning how you feel, learning, not being scared to go within. So we're not going to keep this going on too long. I'm already being guided that this is going to take a few more minutes. So I'm going to continue working on Mary, but then next time we do a video, she's already looking bright. I can see it. She's going to be chipper and happy.
I'm not one of those people that feel anything when Brenda does her work. There are people that feel all kinds of things.
Yeah.
And see all kinds of things when you work, but that's not me.
Yeah.
But I have learned that I will feel better in a couple hours.
Yeah, exactly. It's very interesting. We're all very different on. Some people will see old memories, have visions, feelings, and then there's many people who heal in a more relaxed state, not feeling anything. But I can already see her energetically. It's like the cloud is lifting beautifully. And your eyes are sparkling again. There we go. Yeah, I'm so glad you came today. You're
Thank
helping
you.
all these people.
You're helping all these people.
Well, you're helping as well. And we're doing this together. So when you're feeling blue or down, don't be scared of those feelings. Deal with them in a safe way.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Thanks for joining us today and sharing in my funk. We'll see you again soon. For more information, contact Brenda at www.sobrilliant.ca. Take care, everyone.
Thank you for joining us.
If you have any questions or comments, visit us at sobrilliant.ca.
Sending you lots of love and light. Until next time.